Hello everyone. Wanted to be able to just take a one-shot thought on what is a thought. This is something that's been racking my brain for a long time. It's been kind of into the development for a couple of years now, but it's really kind of taken its own little spin lately. And one thing I wanted to just ask all of you is, how do you think of what is a thought? How do you actually model, or what is the framework for you to actually think about what goes on inside for you to actually have that thought that comes out? So I think it's very important, and something that I've seen more highly developed people have actually thought about it and have at least some framework about it, and they're all seem to be similar, but they can be very different. So an example is, I know one person who thinks about thoughts like photos in a photo book, and then another person that thinks about it just as general data. I think general data is a little harder to kind of wrap your mind around for someone outside of that, but another one that actually thought about it different than all the other ones that I've heard is sample or hertz of space-time. So almost an instantaneous snapshot of what is really going on in the space-time that is your brain. I think one of the most important things is hearing from all these different people is the relationships between the different ideas or abstract concepts and or feelings and how you are at the time. So the relationships between everything seems to be what really drives what we do, what we think about, why we think about it, how we feel about those thoughts. And I think that's overall very important. And I think personally, once you have your own framework, you can change that framework a little bit depending on what you want. And that goes a little bit more into the neuroplasticity. Every person's mind can change a little bit, but only a little bit at a time, and you have to be driving that. I mean, you can change, of course, otherwise, but personally, I'd rather be the one at the wheel rather than having someone else actually drive me to think about things in some other way. So that's another big aspect that I think is definitely very important, is knowing and trying to subdivide where your thoughts really come from in order to know what is really from within and what is external. I think a lot of people pretty much are relatively reactive in terms of what comes in is what goes out, based on the external factors and their own memory bank as to what's going on. But each of us do have our own soul, or whatever you want to call it, that can drive us to think in different ways. And that's how we've actually developed throughout time, is this innovation of where we think about things differently than anyone else. We don't just spurt out what we get in. So I wanted to ask all of you, how do you think? Please place it in the comment sections down below. Have you thought about that? What is a thought? Just define that without relationing, or that one thought to another. Actually just self-define it. It is relatively hard, and you have to make your own model. If you want to just let me know what kind of model that you have, or if there are books that you've read on it, let me know. I'll probably go deeper into each of these subjects at a later time, such as the neuroplasticity, or even how sleep really affects it. So definitely very interesting subject, a lot of different areas that I think people really focus on the individual subparts, but really I think the big thing is just what is a thought, because then that drives everything else. So have a nice day. Please subscribe, comment down below like I said, give me a thumbs up, and see you later.